you looking to sell or buy a property? Do you want the best property managers for your properties while you're busy? Look no further. Your Broker PH has got you covered. Your Broker PH is a Makati-based realty company with offices in Davao and Cebu, offering a wide array of real estate services to property owners at the best prices. As a full-service realty firm, Your Broker PH provides top-notch services in sale or lease of real property, property management, land registration, title research and verification, title transfer, mortgage annotation and cancellation, and loan application assistance. Your Broker PH knows how important your needs are, so it takes time to understand them by providing a fast, responsive, and functioning customer support team dedicated to listening to you and helping you achieve your goals. You do not need to worry about the legal aspects of your transactions and deals. Your Broker PH's trained and experienced professionals will take care of that. Your Broker PH, the broker that you trust, takes realty beyond the ordinary.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our free webinar by Your Broker PH. By the way, my name is Raymond Maningas. I'm going to be your host for this afternoon, and together with my co-host Glenn Per. Salamat sa inyong lahat at pinaunlakan ninyo ang aming invitation para maging part ng event na to sa aming kumpanya. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Diba, Glenn?
Yes, welcome and good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for being here with us. It's a great privilege to have all of you here, especially that we are facing a new chapter in Your Broker PH. And by the way, my name is Glenn Perluar, and we will be your host for today. But before we officially start, may we know if you're experiencing some troubles with your network or with your Zoom, please notify us on the chat box below.
Tama. So kung may mga na-experience kayo na technicalities, huwag kayong mahiya mag-chat sa amin or raise your hands para mabigyan natin ng pansin, no? And curious lang ako today, taga saan kaya yung iba nating viewers? Kasi yung ibang viewers nag-share ng location nila dun sa chat kanina. May taga Pangasinan, may taga Cavite. So, mag-touch kami ng isang poll. I-click nyo kung taga saan kayo para makita natin sino ba yung pinakamaraming ka-team dito or kalugar dito. Meron bang mga taga Visayas? Ayan, meron tayong poll. So, click lang kayo dyan kung asan yung current location nyo ngayon, kung asan kayo ngayon. Oh, merong isa, taga Silang. Antipolo City. Sir Danilo, kumusta po kayo?
Yes, at may nakita ko kanina, Raymond, na all the way from Canada sila nanonood. Hello po sa inyong lahat.
Oy, wow, mga taga-Canada. Kamusta po kayo dyan? Si Ma'am Oribet Mapanoo, Carmona, Cavite. Kamusta po kayo dyan? Mga taga Los Baños, Laguna. Meron pang Batangas. Si Ma'am Jennifer, Batangas. So, kung wala na po kayong na-experience na technicalities, wala namang problema. Naririnig nyo naman kami and nakikita nyo yung video. Siguro okay na lahat. Wala akong nakikitang mga questions from them regarding technicalities. Okay, so kung wala na, bago natin simulan itong ating programa, simulan natin ito sa pamamagitan ng isang mataimtim na dasal. So for that, I would like to call upon Ms. Kali to lead us in prayer. Ms. Kali?
Let's pray. Close our eyes. Loving Heavenly Father, thank you for this day you have made. We are truly grateful for all the blessing you have given us. Today, thank you for allowing us to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this webinar. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speaker so that they will be able to impart effectively. May they be blessed as them continue to bring their expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well so that we'll be able to glean the vital information from this webinar. May you grant your blessing to all of us so that we will go out and spread what we learn. In the spirit of your love, grace, and peace, may we realize that this activity should glorify your name alone. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Kali. And for now, for our opening remarks, let me introduce you our General Manager, Ms. Rhea Magbitang Payuan. Ms. Rhea? Habang inaantay natin si Ms. Rhea. So Glenn, kamusta ka naman dyan? Kanina may nabasa pa ako dito na they are currently based in Pangasinan. Mga mukhang marami tayong taga-Pangasinan na bisita ngayong hapon.
Wala bang galing sa Cebu dyan?
Oh, by the way, my co-host Glenn is from Cebu. So baka may mga taga-Cebu dyan.
Hi naman kayo dyan kung may mga taga-Cebu.
Okay, eto na si Ms. Rhea. Hello, Ms. Rhea.
Thank you, Raymond. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to YBP Free Online Webinar. Thank you for being here with us today. We can say that this is historical to us because this is our first time to host an online event. YBP will be discussing about the real estate challenges and opportunities. The speakers in this webinar are distinctively positioned to tackle and highlight the latest developments in property technology, the challenges and opportunities to real estate services during this pandemic and beyond, and the latest innovation to YBP's title transfer service. As we may know, current situation changes our lives. In this approach, we believe that this information will help you. You will be learning about the different initiatives through our online title transfer where you will be able to transact even without going out. We guarantee that this will be convenient, beneficial, and effective. Again, thank you for your participation. Have a blessed day to all.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Rhea Magbitang Payuan, for that beautiful message. And now you guys should sit back, relax, and listen because at this very moment, ito na ang pinakahihintay nyo. We will be having our first panelist to make us learn more about the future of property technology with none other than Attorney Ricky Sabornay. And by the way, Attorney Ricky Sabornay is the founder of Your Broker PH. He is a licensed broker and arbitrator and a litigation and real estate lawyer, specializing in negotiations and out-of-court settlement. He was a counsel to several real estate developers in the country. He is currently a registered foreign attorney in Tokyo, Japan. Please welcome Attorney Ricky Sabornay.
Salamat Raymond, maraming salamat Glenper, at maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga kasama natin ngayon na nanonood ng ating webinar at kasama natin sa launch ng YBP's online title transfer. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat at I hope lahat po kayo ay ligtas at nasa mabuting kalagayan. Gaya po ng nasabi na kanina, to our knowledge, ang online title transfer po ito ay first ever of its kind in the Philippine real estate service industry. Naman sobrang excited po kami ibahagi sa inyo at sa ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ngayon na very limited ang movement at napakahirap mag-process ng mga dokumento sa mga government offices. Para po bigyan ng konteksto, itong launch ng online title transfer ng YBP, ay naatasan po akong mag-share sa inyo ng ilang mga bagay patungkol sa future ng tinatawag na property technology or PropTech. Sa Pilipinas, gaya nga ng online title transfer ng YBP. Ang iba po sa atin ay maaaring pamilyar na sa PropTech. Maaaring ang iba naman ay first time lang na marinig ito. Maging first o second time ninyong marinig ang PropTech, one thing is for sure. Tuloy ang development ng PropTech sa mundo at sooner or later mararamdaman natin ang epekto nito sa atin. Meanwhile, pinag-usapan din natin si Atty. Van de la Cruz na magbigay ng kanyang insights sa mga challenges na kinakaharap ng real estate services at din ang mga opportunities ngayon at matapos itong pandemic. Finally, Atty. Luisa Manlese po will introduce us to YBP and its latest online title transfer service. Let me jump right to the outline of my presentation. Una, pagbibigay po ako ng overview. Ano ba ang PropTech? Some of its classifications, and a very brief history of how it evolved in the past 4 decades. Pangalawa, I will focus on recent technological developments, the ABCDs of technology that I think are revolutionizing the real estate industry today. Pangatlo, we'll do a quick survey of the PropTech that we currently have in the Philippines. And finally, I will close with my personal observations and recommendations on how we can best respond to these developments. Ano nga ba yung PropTech? Para mas maintindihan kung ano nga ba yung PropTech, tuloy po natin itong may video na ito.
Ever heard of PropTech? It's when technology is used to solve property needs. It's going to shake up Asia's real estate market and your life. You may not realize it, but PropTech is all around us. It's impacting our homes, work, and cities. Investors are also seeing huge potential in Asia. Funding of PropTech startups in Asia will reach $4.5 billion in 2020 alone. But how exactly is PropTech going to affect you? If you're already using apps to search for your dream home, that's PropTech. But more exciting things are on the horizon. Blockchain and smart contracts are significantly reducing the risks of buying and selling property and drastically cutting transaction times. Imagine, one day home buying could be as easy as your online grocery shopping. If you work for a startup, you'll know that affordable office spaces are pretty hard to find. Enter the rise of co-working spaces. They're disrupting the way people rent offices by giving businesses the option to hire desks by the month, week, and even hour. The sense of community and networking opportunities they offer are a big part of their appeal. Walk into any co-working space and you'll see them filled with millennial entrepreneurs as well as traditional businesses. But co-working isn't the only way PropTech is changing our working lives. Smart buildings are making traditional offices more energy efficient and cheaper to run. They're using sensors and IoT to analyze people's movements, making the building, well, smarter. Think air conditioning that adjusts itself based on the number of people in a room, lighting that turns itself off when a meeting is over, and my personal favorite, vending machines that have your coffee order ready as soon as you enter the building. Asia Pacific will have 10 smart cities by 2025, and PropTech will help make it happen. Technology is creating better ways to build the buildings and the infrastructure in our cities. Expect to see spatial mapping robots watching over construction sites and drones flying around our skies conducting safety inspections. And that's just the beginning. New investors and startups are popping up every day. You may have already heard of 99.co, Nestaway, and Avrospace, but if you haven't, we're sure you'll be feeling their impact in your home, work, and city sooner than you think.
So that was PropTech. No doubt, technology has been changing the world. At gaya po na napanood natin sa video kanina, technology has been changing the real estate industry as well. In recent years, nakita po natin kung paano gamit ang technology, dahan-dahang natatanggal ang mga middlemen. How technology has been driving innovation sa gamit natin ng property, and how it has been promoting the efficiency of space. Ang mga technology ito ay tinatawag natin property technology or PropTech. So, sa madaling salita, ang PropTech ay mga technologies na tumutulong sa atin na magbenta, bumili, mag-develop, mamit at mag-manage ng real estate assets in a more efficient way. Meron po tayong 3 general classifications ng PropTech. Una, yung tinatawag na real estate fintech. Pangalawa, yung tinatawag na shared economy. At pangatlo, yung smart real estate. So, real estate fintech po, ito yung mga technology-based platforms na ginagamit natin sa pag-trade ng real estate. Mga platforms po ito na nagpo-provide ng information sa mga prospective buyers, and sellers, or pwede rin naman directly mag-facilitate ng sale or lease transactions. Nandyan po halimbawa yung mga kagaya ng Lamudi, That Property, or Zipmatch. Yung shared economy naman, ito yung mga technology-based platforms na nagpa-facilitate ng paggamit ng real estate assets. Gaya ng real estate fintech, pwedeng yung mga platforms na ito can provide information sa mga prospective users and sellers of space, or they may more directly facilitate or effect rent or fee-based transaction. Ang best example po nito would be Airbnb and WeWork. Locally, meron din po tayong Great Work na tinatawag na nag-o-offer ng co-working spaces dyan sa may Quezon City. Part real estate naman po, yung technology-based platforms that facilitate the operation and management of real estate assets. The assets can be a single property unit or an entire city. Puro narinig na po ninyo yung mga terms na smart houses, smart buildings, or smart cities. Yung mga platforms nito may simply provide information about the building or to enter performance, or they may directly facilitate or control building services. Isang halimbawa po ng technology nito na yung ginamit sa tallest residential building, Stratford. Supposedly, equipped po ito with smart home technologies at yung mga condo units ay naka-integrate intelligent building systems management. Kumokontrol sa room temperature, lighting and security control system, electric stove, intercom, Wi-Fi, CCTV, at even fire alarms. Ngayon, kung titingnan po natin ang history ng PropTech, sabing meron pong 3 ways of innovation since the 1980s. At ang bawat isa po ay nagre-reflect ng contemporaneous trend sa mas malawak na technological system. Una, noong 1980s to 2000, nandiyan yung invention ng personal computer. By the time na 2000, 2001, nandiyan yung internet, creation ng internet. At later on, during the global financial crisis, nandiyan na uso yung mga shared economy. So, ngayon po ay supposedly nasa third wave na po tayo, which brings me to the second part of my presentation. Marami pong mga exciting technological innovations na nangyayari sa paligid natin ngayon, but I would like to focus on the ABCDs of tech. A stands for Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, B stands for Blockchain, C for Cloud Computing, and D for Big Data. So, Artificial Intelligence po stands for, AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. Tinutukoy po ito as smart technological tools na nakaprogram para matuto mula sa kanilang environment para improve yung iba't ibang processes ng decision making. Sa ngayon, marami pa rin pong property search sites na gumagamit lang ng simple preferences gaya ng location at size para i-display yung mga properties na for sale or for lease. Increasingly, mapapansin po ninyo, gamit ang AI, dumadami na rin yung websites that can recommend properties based on other criteria. Gaya ng preferences, personality traits, and values, and even online behavior. Gamit ang AI na nag-integrate ang mga chatbot sa mga searches nito that can answer consumer questions quickly and easily. In the future, we can imagine na AI na lang isasama sa mga buyers sa mga showings. In fact, may mga companies sa ngayon working on a technology that would allow a real estate agent to conduct showings via tablet or with a chatbot. Maliban pa po dito, ginagamit na din ang AI sa ngayon para mag-predict ng pricing trends more accurately. Hindi lang historical trends ng market sa isang area, kundi pati crime rates, schools, transportation, and marketplace activity ay kayang i-factor in sa these predictions. Ito naman po tayo sa blockchain. Blockchain is basically the record-keeping technology combined with cryptography. In other words, ito po ay mga digital information na nakastore sa isang public database na secure. Meanwhile, ito tinatawag naman pong smart contract isang computer code na nilalagay sa isang blockchain para mag-facilitate, verify, o negotiate ng isang agreement. Smart contracts po operate under a set of conditions na pinagkasunduan ng mga users nito. Kapag na-meet yung mga conditions na yan, the terms of the agreement are automatically carried out. So we can imagine in the future, gamit po yung blockchain at smart contracts, posibleng hindi na natin kailanganin ng real estate brokers o kahit ng mga lawyers pa para sa mga real estate transactions na meron tayo. Isa pang posibleng gamit ang blockchain-based smart contract sa pagre-record ng mga land titles. Kung ilalagay po natin sa isang decentralized at secure ledger and ang blockchain, ang mga records natin ng titulo, ng lupa at condominium, we can have a more efficient way to manage land ownership help avoid disputes, and ensure that records are not manipulated or lost. Malayo pa po tayo sa pag-adapt ng technology na ito. Pero sa UK, Sweden, and Ukraine ay nagsisimula na nilang gamitin ng iba't ibang blockchain applications para sa pagre-record ng iba't ibang national transactions. Natunggan tayo ng paggamit ng blockchain po ay pag-eliminate ng paggastos sa pag-verify ng property details. Kung may blockchain po pwedeng dito na lang ilagay ang sari-saring information patungkol sa isang property para mas madali yung transaction. Kaya ding ma-address ng blockchain yung isa sa main disadvantages ng real estate bilang asset, which is its low liquidity. Gamit ang blockchain, ay kung mag-create ng digital representations ng real estate, attain ito into small fractions and make the fractions digitally available as tokens. This creates a new way of investing kung saan yung mga owners po ay maaaring magbenta ng stakes nila into open market without the property needing to be sold. Yung cloud or cloud computing ay tumutukoy naman po sa storage ng data gamit ang mga remote servers that can easily be accessed through the internet. Mas nagiging madalas ang paggamit po natin ng teknolohiyang ito dahil sa mas marami at complex information na kinakailangan natin i-save sa ating mga computer. Ang magandang halimbawa po nito ay ang technology na ginagamit ng Netflix para sa libo-libong movies na na-access natin instantly using our device. Yung mga real estate companies naman ng agents magagamit itong cloud for efficient storage for thousands of files including photos, documents, and other business content. With ang cloud, we can have a remote database where we can store such data. And not only is this storage extremely available, pwede pong gamitin yung tablet, laptop, or even your phone. It's also highly secure. Finally, big data technology. Ito po yung mga softwares na ginagamit para magproseso ng maraming information mula sa iba't ibang sources. Amerika, yung mga kumpanya po gaya ng Zillow at Redfin have disrupted the real estate industry using the power of big data technology. Itong big data technology na tinatawag, kinukumpile at kinukolekta nila yung mga data tungkol sa buying and selling trends in a specific area, traffic, demographic information, consumer survey results, at iba pa. At ina-analyze nila at ginagamit ang mga ito to offer insights sa pricing, and value trends at potential value ng iba't ibang areas. Now, big data po is really about gathering real-time and historical information about all kinds of properties and building systems and translating them into proactive maintenance. Sa panahon ng digital age, malaking bagay ang magkaroon ng teknolohiya upang mas maintindihan ang iba't ibang data na available sa atin. Marami pa pong ibang klase ng properties, gaya ng virtual and augmented reality, 5G, and drones. Lahat ng mga ito ay dahan-dahan pong binabago ang ating mga buhay. Sa Pilipinas, maraming mga technologies na napag-usapan natin ay ginagamit na sa Pilipinas. Sa FB pages halimbawa ng mga real estate businesses, makikita na niyo yung mga smart chatbots. And in many of our local online listings portals, gaya ng Carousel, OLX, Hopler, Zidmatch, Property, Property24, at Lamudi. Ginagamit din yung blockchain and smart contracts ng mga tech startups gaya ng Quickwire, Acquire, at iba pa. Ganun din, laganap na rin yung cloud computing services gaya ng Amazon Web Services at iba pang big data technologies. Sa mga susunod na taon, we can expect to see more smart online listing portals and more mobile-friendly websites and apps. You can imagine na mas madami din ang gagamit ng drone photography, augmented reality, at virtual reality kung saan yung mga home buyers at investors ay po pwedeng makita at na-experience yung properties at the comfort of their homes. Ilan lang po ito sa mga wave of improvements and changes to come sa PropTech at makakasahan natin na mas marami pang mga magiging pagbabago dahil na rin sa nararanasan nating pandemic. Dahil nung matututunan na rin mamaya kay Atty. Sa Manalaysay, bilang kontribusyon sa mga pagbabagong ito ay pinamumunahan ng YBP, larangan ng title transfer at other real estate services ang paggamit ng makabagong teknolohiya para maging mas madali, convenient, secure at abot kaya para sa ating mga kababayan at sa lahat ng mga Pilipino sa buong mundo ang mga serbisyo nito. Maraming salamat po sa oras ninyo at magkita po tayo sa susunod na panahon.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Ricky Saburnay. So guys, imagine how our technology grew rapidly all these years, right, Raymond?
Tama. Ang layo na pala ng nararating ng real estate industry. Pero ano na nga ba yung sitwasyon ng real estate industry ngayon na panahon ng pandemya? Tatalakayin natin yan sa tulong ng isa pang panelist, Attorney Dan De La Cruz, one of the directors of Pure Broker PH. He is a licensed broker and a lawyer specializing in litigation and dispute resolution, property law, real estate, and construction. Attorney Ban?
Thank you, Glenfer. Thank you, Raymond, for that kind introduction. Tulad ng sabi ni Glenfer, susunod na portion ng ating discussion for this afternoon ay yung tinatawag natin na ano kaya yung mga maaring nag-epekto sa atin ng COVID-19, how the real estate services has been affected by COVID, and of course, put it in a better way, how can we turn all this, the present crisis, into opportunities with respect to real estate services? As any salesperson would put it, we actually want to ask the question, how could we turn the present situation into more opportunities with an eye towards the future? Now, I'm hoping na marami tayong tagapakinig ngayon ng mga salesperson. Of course, lagi pag sinabi natin salesperson, salespersons would never say good night, would never say good evening. They always say good morning because we always want to have something very opportunistic and very positive. So, yes, we understand we don't want to be insensitive about the present situation, but as salespersons, again, we want to look at it with a positive eye view. So for the purpose of this presentation, gusto natin i-discuss yung tatlong bagay. Ngayon, disclaimer lang, itong mga i-discuss natin ngayon ay sarili ko lang na pananaw, and I think some views that's also shared by other salespersons, real estate practitioners, although some of this would be backed up by data. But our interest for this afternoon is to really determine how we could turn this tide into positive for everyone. So we asked these three questions: how the market is presently reacting, ano po ba yung nangyayari ngayon sa kalakaran pagdating sa real estate service. We are not only talking about the actual buyers, but we are also talking about how the actual sellers are reacting. Kamusta yung proseso, kamusta yung mga ginagawa, kamusta yung interaction between buyers, sellers, and even the governments. Because as we know, most of real estate services have, of course, to be transacted with the government. So, kamusta? Ang pangalawa, how realtors are reacting. Of course, our salespersons who are watching right now, ano po ba yung mga ginagawa natin to respond to the present crisis? And sa palagay namin, the other most important question is, which industry and behavioral changes may outlive the present crisis? Of course, ngayon, sabi natin na maaring may mga temporary measures na ginagawa lahat ng mga tao, both the market and the realtors. But we also believe that some of these changes would outlive the present crisis. And doon tayo titingin namin ano yung mga pwedeng maging opportunities na gagawin natin. Okay, so first one, just to be sure, this is not the first crisis we have faced in the last 5 decades. In fact, in the 1980s, we would see during the time of martial law because of political unrest and going towards the administration of Cory Aquino with all the coup attempts, there has been political instability caused by the decline which caused the decline in the property scene. In fact, during the time, I don't have the data, but because of this political instability, the real estate market has really went down. But of course, for every down, there's always an up. Okay? So, yung sabi, ang buhay parang gulo. Sometimes sa baba, but you always trust and believe that at some point, tataas din yan. So, after the 1980s, because of all this that happened, ang naging reaction ng gobyerno, naging reaction ng tao ay they ushered regulatory reforms. One of those reforms, for example, would be strengthening the banking system, which imposed now or regulated banks' lending capacity, especially to the real estate industry. Because nakita nila ng panahon na yan na konti lang yung bumibili ng lupa dahil walang pera yung mga tao. Ngayon, yung gobyerno nakaisip sila ng paraan na bakit gawan natin ng paraan para mas madaling makautang, makapag-loan yung mga tao. So again, there was a reaction because of that crisis. And the same thing happened in the 1990s. We have the Asian financial crisis. So the countries in East and Southeast Asia faced economic collapse, but the crisis derailed the Philippines' economic growth. In fact, in 1997 and 1998, there was a downtrend in the real estate industry by 18 to 20%. Again, like I said, every after a crisis, there's always that silver lining, because we know, like what happened during the 1990s, by 2020, the real estate industry actually went up by 20%. And again, which ushered to more reforms. During this time, there was a special law enacted by the legislature, which is the Citizenship Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003, which now allowed former or foreign citizens or former Filipinos to reacquire their dual citizenship for them to acquire real estate properties in the Philippines. So again, because of the crisis, merong reaction, and because of that reaction, tumataas ulit. The same thing happened more recently in 2008, global financial crisis. And again, after that, there was a recovery in 2010. Now, presently, we are now in 2020, COVID-19, the present crisis. Okay. Of course, we see before this one, there was a steady increase until the present crisis. Because of unemployment, business consumer confidence has been low, slowdown in OFW remittance are presently among the factors which are affecting the industry. So, meron din tayong decline in tourism arrivals. So, yung mga tao hindi nakapag-Boracay nung summer, hindi nakapuntang Bohol. And of course, that affected the real estate industry. Again, when we're saying real estate industry, we're not just talking about buying and selling. We're also talking about the hospitality industry, which includes hotels, Airbnb, kahit yung mga pasimpleng nagpaparenta sa mga tourist destinations. So lahat yan apektado. But then again, looking at the current trend, we know that after this crisis, akit ulit. So that's where we want to look at now. Okay, so yeah. So right now, we see that realtors are reacting in a very specific way. Now, I don't have the data for the Philippines, but this is data in the US. And I think it's also applicable in the Philippines. Because of the current situation brought about by COVID-19, there has actually been an increase by 68% of agents or realtors leaning into e-signature and digital closing tools. 46% of agents are no longer doing physical viewings. Tulad naman sabi ni Attorney Ricky kanina, meron na tinatawag tayo na e-viewing ngayon. And again, basically all of this. So there is a trend now going from mostly online and e-commerce transactions. Okay. Now, like we said kanina, kahit na merong COVID-19, there would always be demand in real estate. And alam natin, because of the trend, even if there's a crisis, always after that crisis, there's a way for people to bounce back. And real estate industry will bounce back. Ang tanong lang natin is when and how would people react after that one? So, well, and it has always been said that the real estate is a resilient industry. As historically shown in any downturn, the real estate market has a way of naturally correcting itself. However, the preference of people would surely be affected and such changes might outlive the present crisis. So what are we looking at? In the future, probably people would be looking at if they want to buy certain properties. People like myself, we would be considering density. Now, one thing that was highlighted during the present crisis is the fact that assets that have greater density seem to have been the hardest hit by the COVID-19. Sa Philippines, hindi nakapagtaka na yung mga maraming positive cases are those in areas or barangays na dikit-dikit yung mga bahay. Okay? It's not only because of any health issues, but again, because of the physical space. And we expect people, of course, if you have money, if you have the means, people later on hindi lang basta-basta mawawala to. Kasi magiging mindset ng mga tao is, what if magkaroon ulit ng another crisis? What if magkaroon ulit ng another pandemic? Kung bibili ako ng bahay ngayon, might as well bibili ako dun sa bahay na medyo maluwag-luwag. Nakita rin natin yung mga tao parang gustong bumalik ng probinsya kasi nakikita nilang may space and mas maraming readily available food source. Kasi ngayon, yung mga ibang kawawa nating mga kababayan, walang mga makain dahil walang trabaho. Pero makikita natin yung mga kaibigan natin sa probinsya kahit paano, meron silang handang pagkain na makapagkukuhanan. And mas maluwag yung mga properties, no? Also, chine-check ng mga tao ngayon yung governance. So, pag pupunta kayo sa Facebook, social media, marami itong mga memes or jokes na sinasabi, yung mga taga-QC gusto nang lumipat ng Pasig, mga taga-QC gusto nang lumipat ng Marikina kasi mas magaling yung mayor nila, mas makita nila na mas maganda yung ayuda, mas maganda yung response ng gobyerno. So, ito, pwede rin makitang opportunity. Dapat ba yung mga realtors later on would do projects sa mga alam nilang cities na maganda yung governance. The same thing with local tourism. There is a foreseen increase in local tourism because even after the crisis and even after international travel would be already permitted again, nakikingita na yung mga tao would rather prefer local tourism muna. Takot muna yung mga tao magbiyahe abroad, pumunta ng Korea, pumunta ng Japan, pumunta lalo na halimbawa din sa mga iba pang bansa na marami rin naging positive cases dala ng takot ng COVID-19. So even after COVID-19, baka yung mga tao mas gusto nila munang local tourism. So baka mas dumaming pupunta sa Boracay, sa Bohol, o sa mga iba pang local destinations. Yun din sa commercial lease. Pakikita natin na ngayon, apparently, malalaman ng mga malalaking kumpanya na effective naman pa yung work from home. In fact, with a work from home arrangement, makakatipid sila, wala silang masyadong overhead. Effective din naman pala yung online meeting. So baka magkaroon so most businesses might consider no longer renting offices or significantly reducing the size of lease spaces. So those are some things that could be considered. So again, I think just sharing with you, sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, only buy something that should be perfectly happy to hold if the market shuts down for 10 years. So put it in a different way, people now would be thinking, I would buy property, I would lease property, I would be involved in a property that I think if in the next 10 years magkaroon ulit ng pandemic, okay ako. Doon ako titira sa lugar o barangay na feeling ko safe ako kung sakaling magkaroon man ng isa pang pandemic. So now, these are things na would be considered by a lot, even after. Now, the challenge now is for realtors to anticipate these possible behavioral changes. Also, the present practices of realtors should likewise be matched. Now, we see that there's a current trend to shift to e-everything, not just emails, but e-meetings, e-shopping, even e-dating, e-seminars, just like what we're having now, an e-conference. In fact, meron pa ng e-inuman. So lahat, everything e-commerce na. So there has been, in fact, an increase in online selling, so much so that BIR wants to do a crackdown, perhaps realizing how effective and efficient this suddenly realized online market platform. Kaso ang problema ngayon, especially with the real estate industry, is that minsan, kahit gusto mong gumawa ng paraan na online, meron pa rin gap. Meron pa rin gap, and that gap is, okay, so market, minsan nagiging online, si realtors, minsan nagiging online din, si government, slowly nagiging online. Kaso, ang question ay, how do we put these three together? For example, tulad na banggit na Atty. Ricky, yung mga tao gustong magpa-transfer ng title. Kaso yung title, ayaw na nang lumabas ngayon, di ba? So, yung market, meron sa yung in-offer na pwedeng tulungan to online. You can view your documents online. The realtors would be able to assist you online. The government maybe has infrastructure to do things online. But the question is, sino yung magko-connect sa kanila? Sino magko-connect sa market, sa realtors, and sa government? And I think ang next panelist natin sa Attorney Luis would be able to help us on this one. So,
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Attorney Van. Ngayon, alam natin na siguradong babangon at babangon pala yung industriya ng real estate pagkatapos ng pandemya na ito. Pero ang tanong dyan, ano ba yung e-service na ihahandog sa atin ni your broker? Di ba, Glenn?
Tama. Sabi nga ni Sir Van, to show resiliency, di ba? Yung real estate. So what can your broker PH do to show resiliency? So don't worry with that because YBP got you covered since meron na ngang e-services. Maybe yung iba, merong food for their e-service. But here in your broker PH, we have a new service that will surely help you when it comes to real estate. And to discuss more about that, we will have Attorney Luisa Manalaysay Sabornay. And by the way, Attorney Maria Luisa D. Manalaysay Sabornay is the president of your broker PH. She is a lawyer specializing in insurance. She assists in regulatory risk management and renders transactions advice involving commercial lending investments, mergers and acquisitions in the industries, among others, power and real estate. May we welcome Attorney Luisa Manalaysay Sabornay.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So wait lang, share ko lang yung screen. Okay. Wait lang, ba't hindi ko maka-share screen? Okay. 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 Oh, okay, so before we proceed, let us introduce ourselves to you first. Sino ba tong YBP? We keep on saying YBP, your broker PH. So we are your broker PH, Realty Incorporated. Isa kaming kumpanya na ano ba yung ginagawa namin? So marami actually kaming services relating to real estate. So ano ba yung real estate? Mga lupa, house and lot, condominium units, yun yung mga real property. So meron kami headquarters sa Makati and we also have regional offices in Cebu and Davao. Ito na yung ilan sa mga services na ino-offer namin. Real estate brokerage. So if you have real property, land, or condo unit that you want to sell or you want to buy or you want to lease or rent out, gusto nyo mangupahan or ipa-upa, we can help you with that. And pag naman merong tayong loved one na merong property, siya yung registered owner, tapos nawala siya, pwede namin kayong tulungan para malipat yung malipat yung property sa inyo, sa mga heirs. And then if nasa ibang lugar kayo, like nasa ibang bansa or ibang province, tapos may property kayo na wala sa kung nasaan kayo ngayon, we can also help you with property management. And if may gusto naman kayong bilhin lupa or condo unit, we can help you with title verification or due diligence. Siyempre, before ka naman bumili ng property, you want to know kung yung nagbebenta ba sa'yo, siya ba talaga yung registered owner? Clean ba yung title? Baka mamaya nakasanla pala. Yung mga ganong lookout, we can help you with that. And if meron naman if kayo naman yung lender, nagpautang kayo and minortgage sa inyo, sinanla sa inyo yung lupa or yung condo unit, we can also help you annotate doon sa title para malaman ng ibang tao na, uy, nakasanla itong property na ito. And if you want to buy property pero kailangan natin mag-loan, we can also help you apply for loans sa mga bangko. And if naman nawala yung title ninyo, we can also help you with the reconstitution of title. Kung wala pang titulo yung property nyo, yung lupa nyo, tax declaration pa, we can help you process yung mag-apply ng registration para sa title or malipat yung title sa pangalan niyo. Ano-ano ba yung modes of transfer? Kailan ba nagkakaroon ng title transfer? Una, kung nakabili kayo ng lupa. So kayo yung buyer, interest mo na syempre, malipat sa pangalan mo yung titulo. Or pwede ring namana mo. Or pwede ring dinonate sa'yo. Ngayon, tingnan natin yung process. Paano ba malilipat sa iyo yung titulo? Una, meron kailangang bayarang mga national taxes. So binabayaran niya sa Bureau of Internal Revenue. And depende yan kung nasaan yung property, saan yung location ng property. Kasi meron lang authorized agent banks, ang BIR, saan kung pwede kang magbayad. At syempre, yung BIR, may iba-iba yung Revenue District Office na may jurisdiction sa property, depende sa lugar. So, doon ka lang din magfa-file ng iyong tax returns. So, kung sale yan or purchase, ang mga taxes niyan, capital gains tax, documentary stamp tax, kung namang estate or inheritance, estate tax, and kung donation, donor's tax, and DST or documentary stamp tax. So makakakuha kayo ng certificate authorizing registration. Yan yung proof galing sa BIR na nabayaran na yung mga national taxes. Kasi hindi ililipat ng Registry of Deeds yung titulo hanggat hindi pa nababayaran yung taxes. Bukod sa national taxes, meron pa tayong local taxes, ang local transfer tax. Binabayaran naman niya sa local government unit. So kung halimbawa sa city or municipality, kung saan nandoon yung property. Kasi mag-i-issue naman sila ng tax clearance. Yun naman yung proof galing sa LGU na bayad na yung local transfer tax. Ngayon, pag meron ka ng car and tax clearance, ipapasa mo na yan together with the other requirements sa Registry of Deeds. So, lahat ng offices na to, iba-ibang offices, magkakaibang lugar, magkakaibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Pag nakuha mo na yung titulo, bagong titulo sa pangalan mo galing sa Registry of Deeds, pupunta ka naman ngayon sa Assessor's Office para kumuha ng bagong tax declaration. Ngayon, sa panahon ngayon, mahirap lumabas, delikado. As much as possible, we want to stay at home. Kaya nga lahat na lang ata pwede nang gawing online, di ba? Ang pag-aaral ng mga bata, pag-groceries, lahat na pwede mong i-order online. So, ngayon, ito yung innovation na i-offer ng company namin. So, pwede namin kayo tulungan malipat ang titulo sa pangalan nyo na hindi nyo na kailangan lumabas ng bahay. Kasi kami nang bahala. So, everything is online. Basta ang kailangan lang, may internet kayo, mayroon kayong gadget na pwedeng... kasi parang pag-order nyo sa Lazada or Shopee or sa ano pang mga groceries online, ganun na lang din yung title transfer service natin ngayon. Fully online, kahit nasaan kayo, basta may internet kayo, pwede kayo maka-order. Pwedeng add to cart, ganyan. Tapos, secure siya kasi syempre, we are following the Data Privacy Act. So, four out of the five board of director members of YBP are lawyers. So, we know the law and we are complying with that. So, sure na ipapakuha namin mula sa inyo yung documents, and then kapag nakuha na namin yung bagong title, ipapadala namin sa inyo yung documents. So secure yan. And then user-friendly kasi bukod sa pag-add to cart nyo, you can check the status of your order. So halimbawa, ano na ba? Later, we will discuss in detail bakit siya user-friendly. We will discuss that further. Okay, so again, as I mentioned earlier, basta kailangan lang may internet connection, may mobile phone or tablet or laptop. Pwede na kayong mag-order ng title transfer service from us. Ano ba yung unang gagawin? Kailangan lang meron kayong email address. So, sa Gmail, sa Yahoo, sa iba pang provider, kailangan nyo lang ibigay yung name ninyo and email address. Ayan, ito na yung next step. Kailangan nyo din ng cellphone number. So, kasi kailangan namin kayong ma-contact in case may kulang na documents or may kailangan kaming information from you. So yan, very user-friendly to. Mabilis lang tong i-fill out. So nandyan sa gilid yung mga list of documents na required. Kung halimbawa sale or purchase or inheritance or estate o kaya donation. Ito yun, sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, you can check your order status kung ano na ba na tanggap na ba namin. And then we will let you know kung may kulang pa. Kung hindi pa kayo, meron pang hindi na ibigay na document sa amin, we will let you know. And then kapag kumpleto na, you will be notified na okay na yung order, approved na, and then dito na rin yung estimate na kailangan natin na bayaran. Kasi nga, merong mga national taxes, may local transfer tax, pero lahat nung i-quote dito, estimate pa lang. Kasi syempre ipapa-compute pa rin natin siya dun sa government agencies, lalo na pagdating sa local transfer tax, sa registry of deeds, meron silang RD fees and IT fees. And then we have yung bank accounts. We have Union Bank, BPI Family Savings Bank, East West Bank. So ngayon, pwede nyo nang gawin yung online banking, di ba? So sa internet lang or mobile banking, download nyo lang yung app. Nung kahit anong bank nyo, bank-to-bank transfer, pwede na ngayon, di ba? So madali lang siyang gawin. Hindi nyo na kailangan lumabas ng bahay. So kapag ready na-review na namin yung documents and everything is in order, we will let you know na pwede na namin i-pick up yung documents. So syempre sabihin niyo sa amin yung address ninyo kung saan namin i-pick up yung documents. And then pag nakuha na namin yung documents, we will let you know na nakuha na namin. So your order is complete, ipoprocess na namin siya. Okay? So ngayon, kapag nakuha na rin namin yung titulo, i-deliver na din namin sa inyo. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. Although right now, syempre, dahil nga skeleton force yung mga government agencies, tapos minsan nagko-close dahil for disinfection, may times lang na hindi natin ma-expect na mabilis yung pagbalik sa atin ng titulo. At least, you don't have to go out kasi we will do that for you. We will let you know kung ano ng status, tapos you can follow up with us also. And so, yun, ito yung contribution ng office namin sa online everything, you don't have to go out anymore. So ito yung innovation na we hope you can enjoy and you can tell your friends, your family na hindi na nila kailangan lumabas kung magkailangan nilang magpa-title transfer kasi we can do that for you. Thank you!
Wow, thank you so much, Attorney Luisa. So, ayun pala yung e-service na ihahandog sa atin ni Your Broker. Isang online title transfer na napaka-helpful, lalo ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Diba Glenn?
Tama po. And, by the way, since this is the very first e-service when it comes to real estate in the Philippines, mind you guys. Wala.
And para naman sa ating Q&A, magkakaroon tayo ng Q&A ngayon. So meron tayong Q&A portion dyan sa may bandang baba ng inyong screen. Pwede niyo po yung gamitin para dun sa mga may questions. Dyan po sasagutin ng ating panelists lahat ng inyong mga questions sa abot ng aming makakaya. So, click nyo lang yung Q&A portion sa may bandang baba. And then, yung may mga tanong kanina na nakikita namin, pwede na nating i-address dito. Okay, so we have our first question here. Ayun, so can the agent apply online on behalf of the client? So our panelists are going to answer your question. Okay, meron pa tayong isang question na anonymous attendee. What is the website of the online service? yung mga ibang may question kanina, pwede na kayong magtanong dito, no? Sa question and answer. Yung iba kasing tanong na nababasa namin kanina, hindi namin ma-address agad. Ayun, merong isa nagtanong, yung kanina. Ano po yung ABCD under protect na sinasabi kanina? Very good question na, ha? Meron pang isang tanong dito. How do you address the risk of original title transit? Sometimes it got lost in RD, BIR, or AO. Good question. Minsan nga, nawawala yung mga ganyang dokumento sa government agencies. Yung mga iba na may questions pa?
So, since wala na naman tayo mga questions as of now, you can always contact us naman on our email or even on our social media sites. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can rewatch again the video that you watched a while ago on our YouTube page. So, guys, to wrap it all up, we will be having Attorney Oscar Cajucom to give the closing remarks for this webinar.
Thank you, Glenfer and Raymond. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Many thanks to our amazing panel. I'm sure nakatulong ang seminar natin ngayong hapon and very informative ito sa lahat ng attendees. Of course, mas maganda sana kung nagawa natin itong seminar at launch na ito in person, but because of the circumstances, this will have to make do. Pero hopefully, we can see each other and we can conduct our next seminar in person soon. Nakita natin yung impact ng technology sa mga transactions natin sa real estate as discussed by Attorney Ricky. Nakita din natin yung epekto ng COVID-19 sa real estate industry. We heard a lot of good things. We heard some bad things. Pero kami ho sa YBP, we think overall there's great opportunity for the real estate market. And I think Attorney Van shares this view in his presentation. While there have been challenges, for our part ho, sa YBP, we decided to cope with the situation, and nakita niyo yun with the launch of YBP's online title transfer service na diniscuss ni Attorney Luisa. And we hope to continue to utilize technology that way, no, across the real estate transactions and services that we provide. I think the trajectory is for us to continue this utilization of technology in the coming years, and that is what we intend to do. Finally, many thanks to all our participants this afternoon. Ang galing ng technology na kahit malayo tayo sa isa't isa, nakakapag-seminar tayo at nakakapag-discuss ng ganito. I understand may mga taga-malayong probinsya pa. In fact, some of you are joining us from abroad. So maraming salamat for taking the time to be here. On behalf of your broker Philippines, I hope you found this webinar informative, meaningful, and helpful. Kami sa YBP, we look forward to assisting you in your property concerns or partnering with you in all real estate needs that you have. Magandang hapon po and maraming salamat.
Thank you for that notable closing remarks, Attorney Caloy. And thank you sa lahat ng viewers na sumama sa amin ngayong araw. At muli, inaanyayahan namin kayo na mag-avail ng aming online title transfer. dito na po nagtatapos ang aming programa. At maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. God bless us all.